like I said, it was another death in the family and things happen. But I'm back and I'm ready to talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, man, you know.
And tonight we got a good thing going on today. I know you guys heard about the ex-kingpin dope dealer, big New York guy by the name of Alberto Martinez, a.k.a. Alpo.
Yes.
He was shot dead Halloween night in New York City.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah, man. I've heard about this guy from back in the day, you know. As a matter of fact, he's 55, my age.
Yeah.
You know, so he was actually in jail. And I think he did a 20-year bid. And he turned state's evidence.
Yes.
Meaning he started snitching.
Yeah.
You know, so he wound up getting out. And he went into the witness protection program.
Right.
So he was under the name of Rodriguez was his last name.
Yeah.
Abraham Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, this guy, he was living in Maine.
Wow.
He was living in Lewiston, Maine. And he was doing his thing up this end.
Wow.
And for like 6 years.
Wow.
I guess he couldn't take it no more.
Yeah.
So what they said, he was seen back and forth in New York at his old stomping grounds. And at one particular, I guess he went to a club or something that one particular night and got his, so to speak.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
You know, man, these guys, a lot of these guys, these kingpins, you know, we read about them and we hear about them, and they're really like larger than life, you know, in our neighborhoods, you know, especially if you grow up in a neighborhood that's, you know, a poorer, lower income, and you know, these guys, you see them driving the big Mercedes, the big gold chains. I remember, like specifically them, his whole crew. Because I was just getting out of high school when they were really big.
Oh yeah.
And I had a couple of friends from New York that went to school with me that played football, and they were from New York City, so they would always talk about those guys.
Oh, okay.
And how those guys would, you know, give them money to go to the store, and, you know, they would, you know, take care of them, make sure they weren't in the streets, you know, so they would help them out, buy them sneakers and stuff, you know, because some of these, you know, these guys were poor, so,
right.
you know, they didn't, not poor, but, you know, didn't have money to get all the new stuff all the time.
Right.
Since they saw the potential in them, you know, they would, you know, try to keep them away from the drug game and all that.
I get you.
You know, so yeah, I'm really familiar with it, and you know, even that movie they did, Paid in Full.
Yep. That was definitely based on that whole thing.
Yeah, based on them in those days. But you know, it's amazing because when you go down and you choose that life, there's a lot that comes with it.
Right.
And you know, now all they're talking about is people being rats and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when Alpo came home, they were calling him a rat. Right.
And
he was this guy that was larger than life, toughest guy, tons of murders, everything. But when it came time and he had to meet the man,
yep, you're right.
He started singing like a canary. You know? So
yeah.
You know, I just think that, you know, like you got a military background and everything, and you know your word is your bond. You make a commitment to do something, you do it.
Right.
If I make a commitment to be a criminal, I'm supposed to live by that code.
Be that criminal.
You know?
Yeah. Me personally, I like you just said, if I was in a game like that, I would have just went down swinging. Well, not went down swinging, but I would just took that to my grave or whatever.
Right.
Because if you're doing it as a man, if you get caught, you got to do your time as a man.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, old saying says, if you're gonna dance to the music, you got to pay the piper.
Yeah.
You know, and nowadays, nobody's loyal. Like we said again in a couple other podcasts. Yeah. There's no loyal people anymore. They'll sell you up the river, man.
Yeah. To save themselves.
Yeah, and the story went, he killed one of his best friends, Rich Porter. And Rich Porter was portrayed by another guy in Paid in Full. So I know a lot of you guys saw that movie and everything, but that was definitely based on these individuals.
Yes.
And these guys were big time drug dealers. So what happened was he even stretched his drug cartel down in D.C.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of different drug dealers down in D.C. You know, Wayne Perry and Rayful Edmond and people like that. And they definitely, you know, did something together. But as far as those killers, they pinned him. I think they pinned him on like 14 murders.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think he did at least 20 years of that. He had like a 35-year sentence, I think.
Yeah. So.
And
you said he was singing like a canary.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, he even killed, like you said, his partner, Rich Porter.
Yeah.
And that was his boy, you know.
Yep. And I looked at the documentary and just, you know, and they had different things and they even had official stuff that Alpo was saying in jail about that.
Yeah.
He said something to the effect that he thought that Rich Porter was selling behind his back.
Right.
So I don't know if that was true or not.
Right.
Or he was just paranoid.
Right.
And that was the reason why he killed that guy.
Right.
But then, along the lines of like later on, they said he was interviewed by somebody else, and he said if they asked him if he could take back something in a drug game, what would he do? And he said those killings.
Yeah.
Those killings, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I said, me personally, I'll take a 9 to 5 any day.
Yeah.
Versus being a drug kingpin, because you can't retire from that.
No. And every day your life is on the line. Every
That's
day
true.
your life is at risk.
That's
and
true.
They made a lot of money. They were talking about, when they started, it was $40,000 sometimes a day.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
And it's a lot to tempt.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, you see where they all end up, because they would tell us too as kids, if you're going to be out there dealing drugs, there's 2 places you're going to end up: jail or the grave.
You're right.
And they would, the older people that had been around and seen it, they would tell you this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
And the hard heads would would try, but then
Yeah, man, it's something else. And right now, what you and I are going to tell these young kids today that if you want to do something, go to school, continue your education,
Right.
Finish school, even try to go to college.
Right.
If you can't go to college, you can't afford college, just try to get you a good job,
Nice trade.
and run the right life. Because you don't want to go down the wrong path.
Right.
There's 2 paths in life: a negative and a positive path.
That's
and
right.
you don't want to go down a negative path, because sometimes you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
And like I said, with that drug game, either 1 or 2 places you're gonna wind up: in jail or in the cemetery.
Right.
So you young cats out there and young ladies, think twice before you put that bag in your hand or go out here and figure you can do some things on your own, because that fast money ain't good money.
No. And that's the thing, man, because it's tempting, but a lot of times, and you could say, say no to drugs and all that stuff, but the reality is that you do need to say no.
Yes,
because,
yes.
And even though, some of the songs now, some of the rappers, they talking a lot about the drug game and everything. A lot of them really haven't been exposed to it. There's no friends that did it, but they singing and rapping about it.
Right.
But you have to be responsible, because I'm looking at you talked about the DC guys, the New York guys, and this guys in California. They even had a big show, Snowfall, about,
that was California.
And,
that was back in the early 80s. Rick Ross or Freeway.
Ricky Ross.
Ricky, he was the original Rick Ross.
The real Rick Ross.
And that was when crack cocaine got really bad everywhere, especially in the 80s. And it was to the point where it had flooded the neighborhoods, all the black neighborhoods as well.
And he was dealing with the government, and he had them helping him bring it in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he still went to jail. It's like you don't win at the end of the day.
You can't escape it.
And you can make as much money as you want, but at the end of the day, when the time comes to pay, like you said, you're gonna have to pay.
You're gonna pay the piper.
You're gonna have to.
And then whether it's starting all over again, or everything you had, somebody took it from you, so now you gotta start over again.
Right.
And that could be a hurtful thing.
Right.
So now you maybe 50, 60 years old, and you had an empire maybe 8-10 years ago, but now you have nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
And a lot of times when I analyze people like that with these big drug kingpins, they don't last long. I'll say maybe 5 or 6 years most it'd be at the height. And after that, they really don't make it. None of them don't really make it to 10 years. Because 5 or 6 years.
People are coming for them,
Yep.
They're coming for what they got. They're coming for their life, the
territory,
government. It's like it's a constant, it's a stressful life,
I bet.
And, I think that it's important, man, too, that, like you were saying about school or trade or whatever, to understand that, working hard is all right.
Right.
It's honest. Honest work is good work, and, a lot of times we glorify stuff. They even got a new series out. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out yet, but BMF talking about the Black Mafia family in Atlanta.
Yep, I've checked it out.
And,
that's what our Big Meech in
Big Meech, yeah. So, and, they kind of glorify it in a sense, but, he's sitting in prison now.
Yeah.
His brother's sitting in prison. His family's destroyed, and that happening to me, having to go to jail, my brother having to go to jail, my family destroyed and broken up. There's nothing there's no money that's worth that much.
Nope.
You know what I mean? There's no risk that's worth taking. Now, if you do something in my family that's different, I'm going to have to take a risk.
Of course.
That's different.
That's 100%.
But I'm not going to go out and, when I can work with my hands and my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's almost
ways, because those minds are bright. If they got a business mind to set up, that empire with that business mind, if you challenged it to something else,
something
besides
something positive,
coke and crack,
right,
or it could be this, or trucking or whatever,
anything,
you could still flip it, and then you can sleep at night.
Yes,
you ain't got to worry about somebody coming in on you, whether it's another crew or the police or whatever,
Yeah, and it's something that's that's legal.
Right.
A legal hustle. It's a good job, and like you said, you can sleep at night. Because when you're doing things like that, definitely with selling drugs, you got to constantly worry about people trying to get what you have.
Right.
Trying to worry about people infiltrating you.
Yes.
To the police, because like once again, ain't nobody loyal here. There's a lot of snitches and people jealous of what you have.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could be a man, it could be women. Right. And they'll plant things on you just to get you to come out of your element.
Right.
And I don't think nobody that strong.
No.
You may think you are, but at the end of the day, somebody gonna get you.
Right.
Somebody gonna get you, man.
And just look at the life. Like we're talking about Alpo tonight. He's just one of many that have come, before him. But look at his life and look at how, how he started and how he hustled and he made all these millions and did all this. Yet he was shot dead in the street in Harlem, and he didn't have anything.
Nope. Right. And that's where it all started.
Right.
But from what if I'm not mistaken, they said something about he was throwing out heroin bags out of the window.
Yeah, he was selling.
So in other words, he was trying to get back started again.
Yeah.
But once again, he was already out of it.
Yeah.
So I guess he just couldn't take him, and he had to get back into it.
Because there's kids coming up every day, every year, new ones coming up trying to want to make a name for themselves,
And I'm quite sure that all that time when he was doing that, nobody forgot about that, man.
No.
Because a lot of people, disregarded him for doing that to Rich Porter. A lot of people didn't understand that and were pissed off at him for doing that.
Right, and then for him telling too, because he was known as a rat in the industry, and around in New York, they would call him. They say he was a rat.
Yeah. So people, you know what they do with rats.
That's right.
You definitely don't want to be convicted of a rat, or have that label as a rat.
Right.
Because you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So. But I mean,
it's crazy, man. If you live that way, you're gonna die that way.
Yeah.
At some point,
right,
it's gonna happen.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah.
And whether you in witness protection program and stuff like that, if you're gonna be in that, stay there.
Right.
Once you feel as though people forgot, or somebody gonna see your face, remember your name. It could be the Fed saying, look here, he back out there again.
So we'll let you go if you take care of him.
Yeah. Or something.
Right.
Tit for tat.
Yeah, they find a way, man.
Oh yeah. And it is sad because I think he had a son or something like that.
Yeah.
And but like you said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, man. It's pretty crazy, but rest in peace to that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And his life is a lesson to a lot of people. You know that this is, and all that glitters ain't gold. And at the end of the day, if you want to take those risks, that's what happens.
You're right. Yeah, man. Nothing ain't worth that to me.
No.
I love me.
Yeah. Right.
So, you did that fast money. Once again, you might want to think twice about it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it ain't a good life to live.
Right.
And we always stressing positive things on the show.
Yes.
And this is definitely one a big positive thing that we have to put out.
Yes.
Go to school, work,
get a trade,
get a trade, anything.
Yeah.
You're right. Get a trade.
Yeah.
Whether welding, electrician.
Yeah. Plumbing.
Brick mason, anything like that. Plumbers make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Electricians make a lot of money too.
Good living.
But it just it's sad that brothers like that gotta go down.
Yeah.
And things and keep out of the jail because there ain't nowhere to be.
That's right.
Jail ain't nowhere to be.
Right.
I don't even want to see nobody, visit nobody in jail.
Right. It's hard,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man.
It's rough, man. You know, we got anything else to say about today? We could
no, I
go on to
just
something else. We got time.
Yeah, I know.
A couple more minutes or whatever.
I just, again, it's just the choices you make,
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I know you stress to your kids, and I stress to my kids. You got to make good choices.
That's right. That's right.
And so,
and try to make sure if you don't have some young kids may not have a mother or father, but try to find a good role model.
Yeah.
They got good role models and something in your schools and the boys and girls clubs and stuff like that.
Right.
Just find somebody that's doing something positive that you can talk to and latch on to, because you don't always have to be a victim of the streets.
That's right.
That's right. That's a family too, but that's a family that you might not want to cling to, because at the end of the day, that family ain't gonna go down with you when you're behind bars.
That's right.
It's always somebody that cares.
Yeah.
So try to find that person, regardless who it is, and everything gonna be all right.
I think so, man. And how you feeling? It? They say it's picking up a little bit with the COVID, just upticking a little bit. But how have you been feeling? Well, and all that. I know you got your booster and really good to go.
Yeah, I've been feeling good. Knock on wood. Just been doing the same thing that I've been doing, wearing my mask in certain places and stuff like that.
Because you got to keep it up. You can't let it go. You can't get lulled into being,
You're right.
just chilling, thinking everything is okay.
Exactly.
It's still roaring out there.
Yeah. I took a train down south, to the funeral and everything like that, my uncle's funeral, and everybody had masks on the train.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it was super crowded, but it was people, passing back and forth.
Yeah.
And you just got to be careful.
You do, man.
Be careful, you know. And they did say it was kicking up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But now that they're trying to get kids 5 through 11, right?
Yeah.
To get vaccinated. And they said they got it out for them now.
Yeah.
So
and maybe we can talk about that, coming up.
Yeah, we'll have that coming up. But how you feel about it, man? Everything good in your family?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Just staying on top of it, because sometimes things go good and you tend to slack a little bit, and say, okay, well, I don't need this. But when you see people still dying from COVID, younger, and then you see the NFL players getting it. Aaron Rodgers just got it. They said, and then
that one other guy got it too. Who was it? The brother, right?
Yeah, I can't think of his name. And then
I forget now, but that was a sudden thing with Aaron Rodgers, so now he can't play,
right?
And
then Kyrie Irving, he's still talking about he's not going to get the
right.
So it's still out there, man. It's still a hot topic. It's still people still have their own views about it. There's an anti and there's the pro side,
of course.
But we lean on the pro side. Because we know we've been in the mix in the hospital, in the ground zero, so to speak. And
this is about a ground zero you can get. But like I said, fortunately, we've been fortunate not to have it or whatever. And I'm once again, I knock on wood every day. And to keep on doing what I'm doing, and you too, man. Man. And everybody just needs to stay safe and stay vigilant. Because don't slip.
Right.
And not only that, it's getting cold. The cold weather is seeping in.
Yes.
Did you get your flu shot?
Yes.
Well, we had to.
Yeah.
I got mine too.
Yep.
But there's some people out here that have choices.
Yeah.
Get it or not, or they may be feeling a certain type of way. But once again, I've been getting out a flu shot for years. And knock on wood, I haven't had the flu. I might have
that flu will take you down, man.
Yeah. And I might have had like a small common cold
and stuff like that.
But not even, but like now I haven't, nothing really, small sniffles or something like that. But it'll go away, but nothing to get me down.
Right.
So
yeah, man, I look forward to, man, some of the upcoming podcasts. I know we got part 2 of your, really successful podcast, or your interview.
With Mr. Percy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to part 2 of that, and being a part of that. And we got some things coming.
I talked to him about it. He's ready.
Okay.
So what we'll do is you and I'll be there next time.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna start doing, you guys, we might take that somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys see us in a certain place now, but when I do the next podcast, maybe it may be in another setting.
Yes.
So that's something that we can just.
We've been talking about. I know it's getting cold now, but going out to the, out on the street and just meeting people.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
So
do you know any place we can go? Like we can.
We gotta talk. We gotta figure it out.
That's true.
Because there's a lot of people out there that got things to say that can be beneficial. And,
yeah. But I'm saying we have to find a spot, you guys, like some type of room or whatever.
Have
But we'll find
or
something.
suggestions.
Yeah. We'll find something. We're just gonna keep on working, keeping on.
That's it.
But all right, we're gonna call it short, call it quits for the night.
All right.
It's Uncle Yab, Big Rich, and we're out. Peace.